Hello, this is Janelle. I'm the volunteer training manager with Girl Scouts in the heart of Pennsylvania. We are going to be going over using the VTK or the Volunteer Toolkit for leaders and parents. Our volunteer support coordinator, Olivia, will be sharing about how to use the VTK as a leader, and then Jess Mislinski, who is one of our regional directors, will be going over how to use the VTK as a parent view. So here we go. I'm going to turn it over to Olivia.
Hi guys. So I'm going to be showing you how to create a year plan today. Right now I'm on the demo site for VTK, but it shouldn't look too different for you as a troop leader. For today's example, I'm going to use the level of Brownie. So when you log into VTK, if you've never used it before, it will probably pop up to either My Troop or the Explore tab. So on here, you'll see two different ways to create a year plan. We'll go over both of those today. We'll start with a build your own. There's also the pre-selected track, which we'll get to in a minute. So what we'll do is we'll hit the build your own, start by adding petals, badges, or journeys. A little pop-up may come up. You just hit select yes. And then on here, you'll get to create your own year plan. So what you can do is there's two different ways to search for badges, petals, journeys, whatever you may be wanting to work on for the year. The first way we'll do it is we'll use the search function. If you know your girls are interested in a particular badge, all you have to do is type it into the search bar. So we'll use the pets badge as an example. Hit view list, and anything regarding to pets will pop up when you use the search function. So you'll just want to make sure that you're selecting the right level. So as you can see, there is a Brownie one. So you'll hit pets, and you'll hit add to year plan. When you do that, it'll take you to the year plan tab, and you can see that the meetings have been added here. What we'll do is now we'll add a badge or journey through this function. So you hit the little magnifying glass, and we'll use the filter function now. This one I think is a little bit nicer to use just because you're able to select your grade level. You'll get to select exactly what you want to work on, so badges, and then you can select the category. So if your girls are interested in life skills, outdoor, and STEM, you can search for badges all within those categories. Today we'll look at a STEM badge. We'll view the list, and then we'll bring up any badge relating to STEM for your grade level. Most badges have 2 meetings that go along with it. Some do have 3, so make sure when selecting your meetings that you're getting all of the badges that go along with it. Today, we'll be adding the computer expert. Add those to our year plan. And then as you can see, it was added here below. And just so we have kind of a full year plan, we'll add one more using the search function. The dancer one is always popular amongst brownies because it gets them up and moving. So we will select those and add it to our year plan again. Once you have all the badges that you'd like to work on for the year, you can go into your year plan and you can start arranging the meetings. To do this, say your troop wants to work on the computer expert one first, you would just move that using the gray line on the left side of it. So you just want to make sure that you keep the badges together. So that way all of your meetings are consecutive. You don't want to go back and forth between 2 different badges. After you have all of them and you've arranged them the way you'd like, you can go up to the Manage Calendar function. On here, you can set a start date, which would be the first date that your troop would be meeting. You can set the time, and down here, it'll have all of the dates, specifically holidays that you don't want the troop to meet. I'm going to keep all of those checked today just because they're holidays, and we'll just use it as an example. So we'll set our first meeting date back to January 1st, and then we'll just keep it at 4 p.m. Bi-weekly. You can change this to weekly or monthly. That's when your troop meets. You can also set a location. So let's do GSHPA. We'll do 123 Fun Road. So you can put any address that you want in here and add it, and it should pop up on the parents' end so that they know when and where you're meeting. If you'd also like to add an activity, say your troop plans to do a pool party in the summer, you can go to Add Activity, and we will do pool party. And then we will do, you can add all the locations, you can put down the cost for it, which is really nice. And then all the parents should have this information as well. You can set the date, so we'll set it for a warmer month. And then in the activity description, you can say something like, please bring your own lunch, and add the activity. Once you do that, the activity will pop up as a blue square down at the bottom of your page. It goes in the order of the date. So because this one is June 17th of 2020, it's at the end. There's other ways that you can explore the Volunteer Toolkit. So if you want to look at specific activities that the Volunteer Toolkit has for a badge, this is a great place to look for it. If you click on the individual badge, you can look at the meeting overview, which gives you a nice overview of the whole entire meeting, just the different games that you can play. It has a link so you can buy the badges. And it also has some great tools that lists out the activities, gives you everything that you need to do the activity, all the steps to do it as well. So that way, really, there's not too much you have to do in terms of planning the meeting. And as always, you can modify these to what works best for your troop. You don't have to follow it exactly. And on here, there's also a manage communications. So on here, you can edit or send meeting reminders. That'll go straight out to the parents. And then lastly, you can also record attendance. If all of your girls are listed in Volunteer Toolkit, which they should be, you can just click on this and you can check off all of the girls who were in attendance, those who weren't, and then just hit save. And that way everything is tracked for your meeting. You can add additional meeting aids. So say you want to sing the Brownie Smile song, you can add this to the meeting, and then a PDF will be there. Oh, that one didn't pop up. Try it again. So now the Brownie Smile song, the lyrics are there, so you'd be able to open that up, look at the lyrics, that way you have it on hand. It goes through all of the different ways to arrange your meetings. So it goes from as girls arrive, just have things for them to do, and then you can also rearrange these if you'd like as well, just like we did on the year plan. You can also change the timing of things. So it has pre-selected time. So this one, they suggest 5 minutes for, or if you think it's going to take a little bit longer because you have a larger troop, you can change it to 10 minutes. So there's a lot of options for this. And you can also add agenda items of your own. So say you're having a parent meeting, you can allot some time for that at the beginning and save it. And then you would just move that around as you'd like as well. And then you can add little notes here. So there's a lot of features here that are really helpful for you as troop leaders. You can also delete or replace a meeting if things change, and you can also, you have the option to print things out. So there's lots of options for you. I'm going to pass it over to Jess now, and she will talk about looking at things through the parent view.
Okay, hello everyone, and I want to make sure that everybody can see my screen.
Yeah,
so, okay, perfect. So this is to show you how to access the Volunteer Toolkit as a parent. So if you're going to be using Volunteer Toolkit for the first time as a parent to learn some different meeting activities, or if you're a troop leader and you want to show your parents how to access meeting activities and resources through Volunteer Toolkit, you'll want to direct them to MyGS on our GSHPA home screen, and they'll be able to select Volunteer Toolkit. So once they log in to their MyGS account, they will be directed to this screen here, and they can select Volunteer Toolkit. So once they are in the Volunteer Toolkit, they'll be able to access various tabs with information for your troops meeting plan. So if they click on the My Troop information, it will show their own information for their Girl Scout. And then if the parents click on Year Plan, they're able to see all of the meetings that have been scheduled specifically for their daughter's Girl Scout troop. So you could see here, this is my own daughter's troop, and these are the different meetings that we have had throughout the year. So as Olivia previously explained, there are some special meetings that have been added into this year plan, as well as some of the badges that our troop has worked on this year. So you can scroll down and you can see all of the different meetings that have been scheduled and the different things that we have been working on. The great thing about looking at this year plan is that the parents are able to access the activities and the resources that are available in each of these meetings. So for example, the April 2nd meeting, if you click on the Think Like an Engineer Part 5, all of the meeting resources, meeting aids, the meeting overview will all be available for the parent to access as well, which is really great. So if the parents want to work on some of these activities at home with their Girl Scout, they are able to do so. So if they click on the meeting overview, they'll be able to see the different activities, just a brief summary of some of the things that will be taking place during that particular meeting. They can also access the materials list, so if the parents want to make sure that they have everything they need to be able to guide their daughter through this activity. And then they can begin working on some of these things. So if they wanted to work on the Take Action project, they can click on this tab right here and check off some of these activities at home. So this is really helpful for the parents to be able to complete some of the things that you're working on as a troop. It's very helpful, especially now with troop meetings being canceled for the time being. This will give all of our girls the opportunity to continue with their Girl Scout activities at home, so they're not missing out on anything. So you can keep scrolling through. You can see all of the different activities that we have scheduled all the way up through September for our troop. Then if you go into the meeting plan tab, that will again bring you to the upcoming meeting with all of the different resources that we just saw. So just another way to access some of those meeting activities for the girls. Then parents are able to click on the resources tab within Volunteer Toolkit as well. So there are a lot of different tabs in here that they can utilize. So there's a family hub, so different tips, different things for helping their daughters at home. So Raising Awesome Girls is a really great resource for our parents to utilize. So these are also available within the Volunteer Toolkit for all of our families. Then the last thing I would like to show you all as well. So back on our Girl Scouts in the Heart of Pennsylvania website, we do have lots of resources for our troop leaders to be able to utilize walking through Volunteer Toolkit. So if you go to For Volunteers and then click on Volunteer Essentials, we have our Volunteer Toolkit here. So you could click on this and there will be a user guide for the Volunteer Toolkit. So there's one here for troop leaders. That is very helpful. That will walk you through setting up your year plan in Volunteer Toolkit, how to share that information with the parents. Then there's also a really fun scavenger hunt here. So this will help you get to know the Volunteer Toolkit a little bit better if you haven't yet set up your year plan. So be sure to check that out. And also included in the Volunteer Toolkit tab here, there are some tutorial videos as well. So along with this webinar that you'll be able to watch, we have some additional videos that you can utilize to help set up your year plan, set up meeting dates and times, and then also customizing your year plan to add those different meetings that you see here in this tab. So our troop has a lot of customization, locations, all of that information is in here. So these tutorial videos will walk you through exactly how to do that. All right. So if there are any questions ever, you can be sure to reach out to us for additional information. So you can contact your volunteer support coordinator directly, or always feel free to email us at memberservices@gshpa.org, or you can utilize the live chat feature on our gshpa.org website. That is all that we have for today. So thank you so much for joining us.